Hello everyone, I'm Julien SENESCHAL from the Department of Dermatology at the University of Bordeaux. I'm going to present you results regarding vitiligo, data coming from a large survey study called All Color, All Skins, All Dermatosis, conducted by Pierre Fabre company. So I will focus the data on vitiligo, prevalence, on impact on quality of life. The whole project is based because no study has simultaneously evaluated the prevalence of vitiligo worldwide. And the whole project aims at providing a snapshot state on the prevalence of skin disease, not just vitiligo, and their consequences. And here we just present data regarding vitiligo disease. So people from a large number of countries responded to the survey. More than 50,000 people responded to the questions. 51% were female, and patients with skin disease represented 35% of the population. Looking at patients, you can see that we have patients coming from North America and South America, Europe, Asia, and some countries from Africa. 50.6% of the patients were female, and all age groups were well represented. Regarding vitiligo, it was really interesting to see that the prevalence of vitiligo was 2.68% of the populations. And we can see that the prevalence of vitiligo was higher in India, that was very well known, and also United Arab Emirates. Women patients represented 2.98% of the patients. For example, we know that the prevalence of vitiligo is higher in India because, for example, we know that some vitiligo can be induced by pollution, for instance. We see that many patients with vitiligo were less than 54 years old. When it was possible, we asked the ethnicity of the patients who responded to the questionnaire, and we see that vitiligo represented 3.28% of the Black populations and also 3.53% of the white populations. Regarding the impact of vitiligo on the quality of life of patients, you can see that more than 77% of the patients declare that the vitiligo has major impact on their personal lives, especially in Asian and Black populations. It was exactly the same thing with a very high proportion of patients who declare that vitiligo can have an impact on their professional lives. More than 57% of the patients declare that vitiligo has also an impact on their quality of sleep. And again, a majority of patients feel rejected or ostracized because of their vitiligo, especially in Asian populations. 53% of the patients feel that people look at them with disgust because of their vitiligo. As also 58% of the patients feel discouraged because of their vitiligo. As a consequence, people with vitiligo, for more than 38% of the patients use corrective makeup to mask their skin problem, which is very high. in patients with vitiligo. And a majority of patients declare using food supplements to manage vitiligo, especially in Black and Asian populations. You can see that more than 74% of the Asians patients use supplements to manage vitiligo. And when you look at the reasons for using food supplements, the majority of patients declare that it's to slow the progressions of the depigmentations and to try to repigment the skin. It's very high proportion of the patients using the food supplement for this reason. So it's a very large study. I'm very glad to show you this data. And it's the first large study evaluating the prevalence of vitiligo worldwide, 2.68% in patients over 16 years old, which is very good results with a very large patient populations. And I show you that vitiligo has a major impact on the quality of life of patients, affecting both personal and professional lives. And it reminds literature review conducted by Relais Ezegi showing that mainly vitiligo is associated with important impact on patients with vitiligo, responsible for anxiety, depressions, behavioral impairment, emotional impairment, and stigmatizations. This large survey study shows very important results. High proportion of patients use this corrective makeup and use food supplements to treat vitiligo and to stop the progression of the disease. It's a very high proportion of patients, and maybe with the hope of therapeutic innovations, and now we have the first treatment approved both in US and Europe, maybe it's a new hope to get a first treatment approved to treat vitiligo. But it's opened the door for new therapeutic innovations to get very good solutions for patients and for the management of vitiligo. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and I was very glad to present you this data of this large survey study. Thank you very much.